Do they call it snappering because it snaps? Just like that.
I meant to do that.
I don't think that's what I meant to do.
Now, if you hear all that creaking, I've got some bushings and a lot of things that need to be replaced right now, but I didn't want to do it because I knew this project was upcoming. So I have really been dealing with a lot keeping this thing rolling. The AHC went out a while back, got some bushings messed up, a lot of things, but it's not going to matter because it's all getting ripped out. As soon as you see light though, you tell me. It will. I'll be honest, I'm surprised. It has more flex than I thought it did. Now, the tires are still technically touching the ground, but just barely. So right now, to the highest point of the tire, we have 25 inches, which is more than I ever thought it would get. I really thought it'd be about 18 inches at most. And we're not really stuffed here at the front passenger, but the back driver is really stuffed. Hi, welcome back to Shawnee Hill's Workshop. This is my 2006 LX470, or what some of you may know as a Land Cruiser. Now, if you have seen my channel at all in the past, or Revere Overland's channel, you'll know that I have taken this thing across the country, pulling my DIY off-road overland camper, and going across some of the more, I'd say, moderate to low difficult trails that I can do with this. And I have enjoyed it and I love it. The thing is, I just want a little bit more. I love everything about this vehicle except for one thing, and that's the independent suspension. It keeps me from being able to lift it and put the size tires I want to be able to do the type of trails that I want. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Why don't you just sell it and get an 80 series or get something else that's solid axles? And the fact is, I just love the interior of this vehicle. I love the looks of this vehicle. I love everything about it. I don't have a dislike for the 80s. I like the 80s as well, but there's a lot of built 80s out there. You don't see too many solid axle 100s, and so this is my new project. Braden's going to take the wheels and tires off for what hopefully is the last time these wheels and tires are on this Lexus. I'm going to stand by the fire while he does all the work. So I'm going to jump in here just a little bit while Braden's removing these wheels and tires. I've got a problem that I need your help with, and I know it's going to sound kind of silly, but it's important to me. So I like to name all of my projects, and this one's no exception. I want to name it, and I've come up with a name or two, kind of doing a play on words with the flex of the solid axle swap in the Lexus. So I've thought about Flexus or Flexi Lexi, but neither of them really do it for me. And I know there's a lot more creative people out there than me, and I just love to have your idea. If you don't care to comment below what you think might be a cool name for this project, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Now I'm going to try to take all these parts off in an orderliest fashion as possible, because I am hoping to be able to list these and resell them to recoup some of my costs here. Now Matt over at Diesel Creek turned me on to this Croyle, and I'm telling you what, I like it. I used to use PB Blaster and it works good, but I like this. It kind of foams up around and kind of sits more, and I just feel like it does a better job of loosening up old bolts. Now that being said, most of the things on the suspension I've had off and on over the past couple years as I've been doing modifications or working or making changes or just, you know, maintaining the vehicle. So I don't expect to have too hard of a time. So if you're looking for anything for your 100 series suspension, hit me up, Wes at ShawneeHillsWorkshop.com. I'll be having these all for sale. Preferably to be local to pick it up, but I can ship freight if you're willing to pay the cost. Now the trick here is to make it so when we're done, it looks like we knew what we were doing. Think we can do that? No. You don't think so?
No.
I hope so. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit scared right now. There ain't no going back after we cut all this out.
Well, we could just get new independent suspension and try welding all the pieces we cut off back.
Nah, it ain't going back once it's...
So yeah, we probably won't have this Lexus in 16 years. Or when I am 16 anyway.
You got a lot of faith in you, old man, don't you? Well, now I'm going to do it right just to spite you. All right, let's get ready and take this torsion bar out and take this lower arm out here.
Lower arm will be easy.
It won't be too bad once we get that torsion bar out.
Are you sure you have it on, Lisa?
Let's see if the impact will do it now.
Sure enough. We got her out.
Yep, we got her
Just
out.
needed the breaker bar.
A 3-foot long breaker bar. What's bad is I adjusted those not too long ago and they've been sprayed down with Croil. I'm kind of surprised they took that much to get out.
Are you sure you didn't use the 3-foot long breaker bar?
I know I might have, who knows? I might have used that to tighten them up. Well, it is day 2 on the Lexus SAS project. Yesterday I tried my hardest to save the shocks for the AHC. You know, there's a lot of rigs this age out here and I wanted to save it, but today I'm going a different route. We're gonna get those shocks out of there. Might be able to break it the rest of the way. Now it's about 40 degrees outside today, much warmer than it has been. All the snow's melting off. And with this wood stove in here, I'd say we're cranking at about 60 degrees. It feels kind of good in here. Got a mouthful there.
Ugh. Of what?
Well, I'm hoping that was just the AHC. I'm hoping I didn't accidentally nick something else. I don't think it did. Yeah.
Well, we got her out.
Tell you what, that AHC fluid was not healthy. Back about 2010 or so, we bought a Tahoe, and I was hearing this rattle around in the back. And I searched for it and found it back inside one of the panels, and it was this ratchet. And this is I'm pretty sure it was sold at Walmart. It's a Stanley ratchet, cheap thing, but it's got a pivot head on it. It's got an extendable handle. And I'll tell you what, I use it a lot. Now it's not got a very fine gear like my Snap-on does. It's definitely not as refined, but it's one of my favorite ratchets. How you doing there, Brady?
Trying to get this loose.
Should have ate your Wheaties this morning for breakfast instead of that peanut butter and honey wrap. You're gaining on her now, aren't you? You about to get her? The head ain't spinning on the other side, is it?
Nope.
You about to get her?
Yeah.
Could have taken that fender liner out for you. He was already gone on the other side. Alright, so we pretty much got all the suspension taken out of the front here. Now we're going to try to see what it's going to take to get this front diff out. And I should know how to take the steering rack out, considering I put this one in about 6 or 8 months ago, but I don't remember it all right now. We have been getting soaking wet today as all the snow's been melting off of the LX, so that's been fun. You ready, Braden? All right.
Something's still hanging on.
Yeah, I think I know what it is. It's just the friction. 2 pieces that are rusted together. I don't think there's any more bolts, but it's still possible.
Just go a little bit, it goes a long way.
That's not what I intended to happen, but well.
That's the funny thing about those carts, or those rolling things.
There she goes.
Here's the independent suspension.
Here's no more.
There she is.
There she be. Well, we got the front differential out, got all the suspension out. Still got the calipers hanging. I'm not going to be using those calipers, but for right now, I just haven't unhooked them. Got to get the steering rack out still, and obviously the rear. Now the rear will be easy. It's like any solid axle rear end. A couple bolts, springs, and unhooking the ABS. It won't be hard at all. I think that's where I'm going to end the video at tonight. I'm not sure if I will video taking the rear out or not. We'll just see. The videos that will be coming up here pretty soon is preparing the 80 axles. I'm going to sandblast them, get them cleaned up and ready. Whether I use them or not, I'm going to use them for mock-up. I've got to get the tires, which are sitting right there. Got to get them mounted on the bead locks. And after that, it'll be time to start cutting out all of the steel framing here that's not going to get used. One of the sponsors of this build series is Peel 3D, and I will be using a Peel 2 scanner along with the Peel to CAD software to 3D scan the underneath of the frame and everything and design my 3-link system in CAD before I ever actually put it on the truck. Or at least that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Well, if you're interested in this series, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you get notified every time I put out a new video. Now, understand, I'm not a professional. I'm not even a mechanic. Anybody who's followed my channel for any amount of time knows that I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a guy that's dumb enough to try it. So if you see anything that I could be doing better or that I'm just flat out doing wrong, please comment and tell me. This is not my field of expertise. I really don't know what I'm doing. I could honestly use help here. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to try to post videos on this build every Sunday. I've got a ride I'm trying to get ready for in April. Hopefully I can get ready for it and a show as well. So, thanks for watching.